Is it working again? Lovely. I am screaming and crying and pissing and shitting. That was awful. God fucking damn it, you guys. Okay. So, my computer overheated. It really didn't like the fact that I was, running it, for an extended period of time. But yeah. Yeah. I, yeah, my computer's super fucking overheated. And it hit like an internal temperature threshold. And, this meant that, after it went over the threshold, it, it just kind of auto shut down. Which makes sense. You don't want your computer to catch on fire or anything. But boy, was it poorly timed. I remuxed the MKV file, so I have it just in case this doesn't go well. Like, I go to the YouTube and it's corrupted or something. Should be fine. But, you know, safe than sorry. I should also clear out my recycle bin, because it is very full at the moment. There's a lot of shit in here. Oh my god. It, it is already up to 5 gigabytes. 8, 11, 12. Oh gods. It's gonna take a minute. You'll love to see it. Let me test if my speakers are working. Yeah, they are. Gee, the time remaining about 2 minutes. 30 gigs of items remaining? That's a lot of gigs. God. Anyway. I opened up my window and I've been letting the airflow help to cool down the computer in addition to the fans running at a normal speed. I have done my best to not turn on anything extra. Hopefully it has had an opportunity to cool down a little bit over the last 45 minutes. In fact, I was doing some writing for the, like, my Faithful Strands notes. Cause yeah. Notably, I've got a bit on Kroya in here. I already had that finished. Not the setting, the summary for the Faithful Strands. I've also got a little introductory statement to Industria, a multi-system strand of dark industrial urban fantasy horror, a world where magic is rare and more dangerous than it's worth. Corruption waits in every shadow, whether they take the form of occult horrors and their worshippers stalking smog-choked city streets, or the simpler and crueler kind that lives in the hearts of greedy politicians and factory owners. Will you help people fight back against their oppressors, both magical and mundane? Or will you become one of the things which stalks the night, trying to survive this rapidly changing world? That's the vibe. That's the vibe I'm going for. I want to set some old-fashioned ass, like Vampire the Masquerade shit. So, early industrial era. Looks like my recycle bin is empty. Let me take a look at the This PC section. Yeah, that really did free up 30 gigs of space. God damn. Also, one of the settings in the Faithful Strands is listed as Earth Bad Timeline, and the introductory sentence is, "Sorry, reader, you're all too familiar with this one. It's where you live, after all." Which I think is the funniest shit in the world. Sorry, I yawned. There's some quite literally apocalyptic settings in here, and our world is listed as the worst one. Anyway, let me bring Peek back up, you guys, and I'll do a little peeking. I'm tired now. That was a frustrating thing to happen with the with my PC overheating like that. I fully might need a nap. Ugh. It's not even caffeine crash. I've been sipping on an energy drink this whole time. This is just fucking post-exertion whatever. I have been told it's a common symptom of several disorders, and I should talk to a doctor. Talk to a doctor. Please, God, talk to a doctor. My therapist is sitting here like, you show symptoms of several chronic health issues. Please. Please. Little bit of peak is a treat? Hell yeah. Pirate gets it. But hey, on the bright side, the swelling in my pinky has mostly gone down. So it's like basically fine. It's just kind of colder than the rest of my fingers at this moment. And I think that's just like a circulation thing. That'll work itself out. But the swelling's gone down. I did not accidentally break my hand yesterday, thankfully. Sorry, for context, yesterday I was vigorously washing my hands, and I had the fun problem of, I put a little extra pressure on my hands, I guess, because, yeah, I was washing my goddamn hands, and, yeah, there was a loud crack from, like, the knuckle that connects to the palm. And then, the finger, which had been numb all day and had been numb off and on for the last week or so. Suddenly stopped feeling nearly as numb, and started swelling and hurting. My running theory is not that I managed to dislocate my like pinky joint earlier today, not earlier today, like yesterday afternoon, but in fact that I might have done something to it like a week ago, and that's why it was numb. And I just kind of popped it back into place on accident. Because now it's a lot easier to control and everything. I'm getting back most of my sensation and stuff in it. It kind of feels like it is just healed properly this time. So, like, I'm not full range of motion on it yet, but I'm pretty good, actually. Like, more so than you'd really expect. So, that's where I'm at. Like, health-wise, that's where I'm at. Look, Pyrite, you can bestie me all you want. I seem to be fine. I am mostly fine. Now. I was apparently not fine beforehand, and my brain was just kind of like, ooh, that's not pleasant. Let's just kind of phase this out. And that's the reason why my hand was numb for so long. Or partially numb, I guess. Like, it wasn't a pinched nerve, it was just... yeah. The main thing is, I don't do a lot, so I've not had a lot of opportunities to, like, break anything. So my only guess is that I slept on it weird, and I woke up in the middle of the night after doing that, and it was like, ah, that hurts, and then it faded out, because my brain was like, you're not allowed to feel pain. And I was like, huh, weird. I guess I just woke up from bed for no reason, and went back to sleep, because I do that entirely separately. And it's just, yesterday just popped it back into place. Sharp crack, and it was fine. Well, I mean, it was swelling for a little bit, and then it was fine. Which... again, I don't do anything that could really meaningfully injure me, in most, like, cases. So, like, you know... maybe I've got fucking weak-ass joints from, not injuring them enough. But, this doesn't seem good or normal. I don't know. The other day, my therapist noted that she's been, noting anytime I have had a story wherein I have described a symptom for like a chronic condition, you know, because she is suspicious that a lot of my issues might be related to an undiagnosed thing. Because a lot of it is me complaining about, like, intense fatigue and emotional issues that come as a part of that. And it's like, okay, well, your doctor thinks it's a sleep issue. I respect your doctor. I'm worried it might be this separate thing. I can't diagnose you with anything because I'm a therapist, but... and I got a recommendation, you know, of a cool disorder to look up in my spare time. As someone who definitely enjoys doing that routinely. So entirely unrelated to her mentions of looking at a list of symptoms and being like, I can't diagnose you with anything. Entirely unrelated to that. You know, I asked for insights into just like any fun diseases to look up. And she did say to look up hypermobile EDS if I just, you know, wanted to learn about a cool one. Not everything matches up to my personal experience, but my personal experience is flawed. There's a lot of the, like, more flexible than normal. What does that mean? I can't self-diagnose that. It's like, maybe I should bring this up with my doctor. Because there's a lot of stuff where it was like, I don't think, but I wouldn't really be able to know. And a lot of other stuff where it was like, oh, I relate to that very hard. And when it's like, half your answers are I don't know and the other half are yes, it feels like it's worth looking into. Anyway, I scheduled an appointment with my doctor to talk about my pinky suddenly going numb. But that seems to have resolved itself a little. So now I guess it's gonna be me bringing up additional stuff. Hey, Digi. Good morning. I was just talking about how I may or may not have a chronic illness. But yeah, I have a doctor's appointment scheduled. I'm gonna be like, hey, I feel like this is worth looking into. Can you, like, research this a little and get back to me, maybe? I don't know. Who do I talk to about this, doctor? Because I have concerns. I say in the big dramatic voice. Yeah. Because it's one of those, like, my therapist has been noting things that are, like, potentially symptoms of a chronic condition. And she was like, I can't diagnose you with anything because I'm a therapist and not a doctor. But this list is getting long. So entirely unrelated to that, I asked if there were any cool diseases I should look up in my spare time. And yeah, I got pointed towards hypermobile EDS as a potential candidate for a fun disease to Google. Uh, and I'm about 50-50 on like the symptoms, uh, where it's like 50s yes and the other 50s I don't know. So it feels worth talking to a doctor about. Especially given that I may have accidentally dislocated a finger the other day. And I'm like trying not to think too hard about it, because I'll destroy my brain. That is just a thing that happened. By the way, in case you didn't see the previous stream, the red shroom berries are slow fall and the yellow ones are invincibility. No! Because I was previously doing this. And then, I say that accidentally dislocated. Dislocated is not the correct word. My theory is that happened like a week ago. And I've kind of just been living with it, with like half my right hand being numb. And like being less dexterous than usual. Because my pain tolerance is higher than average. So, like I'm a wimp when it comes to pain conceptually, but practically, there was that one time I stepped on a piece of glass and didn't really notice for like 3 or 4 hours. So it's one of those, like, that injury is supposed to like hurt a lot. You definitely would have noticed, and I'm not certain. My brain does have this whole tendency to protect me by hiding information about things that are wrong with me. So it's one of the like essential things my brain does. So yeah, I'm gonna have a chat with my doctor, is basically the summation. And we're gonna see what he says. He's generally pretty reliable. He's just also a GP, so he's got a lot on his plate. So it's one of those, like, generally speaking, I trust his opinion, but he doesn't know everything and I shouldn't expect him to, you know? Oh, that shit was, mostly numb for the last week. Maybe it is also carpal tunnel, in which case it is still worth talking to a doctor about. I had the fun experience of, I don't know, doing something that popped it back into place. And I don't know how out of place it was, or in what way it was out of place before that point, but Yeah, fair. I don't know. I still have no idea what the fuck happened. Yesterday I popped it back into place and now my finger is a lot less numb and a lot more dexterous. It's one of the maybe I'm using the wrong words for it, but there is definitely something wrong here. And yeah, I very much trust my doctor to know what's going on. Or at the very least, to be able to look at things kind of objectively, and be like, not just like dismiss my concerns. You know? Which is good that I have a guy I feel like I can trust like that. Like, I think he'll be like, okay, I've looked into it. It's like, your concerns are probably valid, maybe not valid, whatever. You can talk to this third guy. I'm like, okay. I've been given a new guy to talk to. Basically, I have scheduled a doctor's appointment wherein I'm gonna talk about how my finger went numb for a week. And then I'm gonna bring up some other stuff, and he's gonna tell me to talk to a guy. Misaligned instead of... Okay. Yeah, that's probably it. I still don't, like... I was told the most common cause of that issue would be, like, you know, onset of carpal tunnel or whatever. Which is also a strong possibility for me. Or it's like, yeah, no, it's a nerve issue in the hand or whatever. But I talked about that with a couple people, and someone who knew someone else with carpal tunnel was like, I don't know, it doesn't quite sound like that because usually it comes on a lot slower and isn't just like you suddenly have one finger numb. It's like usually there is like a mounting thing and you can do some preventative stuff in the meantime. It's like, huh. Yeah. It's like it sounded like too sudden of an onset for what at least the people I talked to have known carpal tunnel to be. But also, it's not impossible that I just didn't notice earlier signs. Because again, my brain likes to hide things from me. And it is also not impossible that it is, like, I don't know, a third thing. One of those, like, yeah, the most common cause of that numbness would be carpal tunnel, but that would be a much more advanced stage than you should be at, not having complained of any problems before just now. And that was the other, like, prevailing guess I got for why my finger is messed up. Like, so far, situation I'm in, it looks like I popped something back into place. And now it feels a lot better. So, who knows? Oy. I don't know, the whole thing's got me stressed. I need to say something about it to someone. Miscellaneous internet people is as good as anyone. At least, you know, until my doctor's appointment on the 5th. So, you know. I'm fucking hating the wind, by the way. I had an extended game design talk about this on the previous version of this live stream. Which has been lost for mysterious reasons that are not my fault. I swear. I am a very responsible steward of my computer. Anyway. But, I had an extended talk of, I think the roots could be very easily split into 2 biomes which are at a lower level of difficulty, which would be more appropriate for where it is placed in the game. Like, physically, this is the 2nd biome, and it's got so much going on in a way that no other biome does in this game. Where I was thinking either, like, a windswept forest or a mushroom grove. And you can divide up the stuff that's happening here into those 2 categories. So you've got the more random chance heavy mushroom grove, which is the shroom berries and the spores and all that. And the shroom berries have random effects, and the spores would turn on and off at random intervals. From those same, like, source mushrooms. And then you can have a kind of, like, gambler's system, where it's like, ooh, this is the random chance biome. And then you can separately have a windswept forest that mostly deals with forced movement conditions, such as the winds, but also things like the spiders and the beetles, who do forced movement. That is their thing. The spiders force move you upwards, the beetles force move you horizontally by punching you, but, you know. They're both largely focused on that, and they match with the wind's environmental effect. I feel like they don't match with the spores and mushrooms situation. So if I were to, like, redesign things, I would split the roots in half. And effectively do, like, a windswept redwood forest, and a like covered, like dark forest vibe. Wherein you are going through the darkened environment, and it's so spooky, and you can occasionally encounter the rare zombie. That is how I would do it. That is my redesign proposal for how to do the things. Because these are all interesting challenges. They're just really difficult when put together in a way that is not quite appropriate for the location that they are placed in the game. Right? Because again, this is the second biome. And I do, honestly, love the level of difficulty. Like, this isn't me complaining about it. I genuinely quite like it. The problem is you encounter it so early. And you probably shouldn't. Because this is a huge spike. Okay. Think I can make that. Barely. Oh, it's worth a cure all charge, I think. You motherfucker. Yeah, fucking right. Biome 2 out of 5 is ridiculously difficult, and Biome 4 out of 5 is super easy. And it's like Biome 4 out of 5 is also spooky, because it's a big volcano, you know? But it's like, once you're there, it's like, okay, this is a non-issue. This is a nothing biome. Because the moment you've gone through it once, you're like, oh, I know this. This is fine. This is easy. Like, all of the horror is gone instantly. And it's just like, oh yeah, it's the easy biome. God damn it. Why would you do this to me? I don't know, ideally you could find a way to use all of these mechanics in the fourth biome, and just, like, swap them around without changing the thematics, but... I mean, you could change the second biome into a swamp with a rising tide of slow-building spores. that wouldn't be too difficult. That is just a retexture. And it would be a largely flat, like, mangrove roots situation. And you could have basically the same thing. But making all of the stuff that is in the roots feel appropriate for being just outside of a volcano is a lot more difficult. I don't know, smog clouds? Pyroclastic flow pushing you around? Even then, like, the whole thing in this game, one of the most notable things is that the difficulty spike. Like, in terms of difficulty, either the third biome or the second biome is the hardest. Third biome if it's tropics, second if it's roots. And then everything after that is just kind of fine. Because I would put the kiln on the same level as Mesa and Alpine. And there's just like a difficulty dip in the middle, and the timer's shorter. NPC named Tim that just pushes you. No, we've already got the Scoutmaster. We can do that. Fucking imagine. Yeah, it's one of those, like, these things desperately need to swap places, I think. How exactly would they do that? I'm not certain. I would need to have a whole brainstorming session about it, but they need to. Because the difficulty here is broken. Okay. Lovely. Top of the second biome. Chain launcher, and I know damn well there's something else in there, but I can't get to it, so. Noxious gases, not a bad idea. Alpine, not great, not terrible. Okay, how am I divvying up all this stuff? Love a little slow fall. That wasn't any faster than putting on an invincibility one and tumbling down the slope, but whatever. Where the fuck is the storms? Where's the blizzard? It's spooking me that it hasn't happened yet. There we go. Okay. Whew. I was worried it was just going to be ominously silent the whole time. I like the heat packs, they last a while. Damn it. Doing my best. At a certain point, it's not worth continuing to try. Never mind. You love to see it. And it comes in handy right away. I was just adjusting my blanket and I heard my wrist crack weird. I don't know why it's doing this more often all of a sudden. This is what happens when you calm your anxiety down and you no longer have constant muscle tension to hold your joints in place. You just start making noises. I do need a sanity check of how often most people's joints crack, because I keep getting told that by, like, old people whose joints crack all the time, and they're like, oh, you're 22, you shouldn't be, you know, having whatever. But they always seem to be playing it for a laugh, so I can't tell if they're actually being, like, talk to a doctor, you know? God, I really wouldn't blame a therapist who looked at my, like, suddenly being very concerned about my health and was like, huh, this might be like OCD evolving or something. When in reality, it's just things seem to be going wrong all of a sudden. Like, concrete things are happening. I'm making noises. Okay. Because I'm getting, like, a solid audible knuckle crack, like, I don't know, once an hour. And it just happens in a random joint. No, it curves up too much. There's something over here. Oh, there is. Kinda. It doesn't want me here, but it's here. Huh. I feel like a goat. Like, walking on that slope. Yeah, okay. It's one of the... I don't know if I'm just going insane. Or if a ton of health stuff is suddenly manifesting all at the same time. And it just, like, happens to coincide with me, like, wanting to live. Whoa. I'm just hanging out, like I stand up and every single one of my joints crack. And it's like, are you a fucking wooden puppet? What is happening? It's just like, it's just my bones. You say that. I am also actively cracking my joints myself. A thing that I could not do before like a month ago. Also, my environment hasn't meaningfully changed. I think I should be good to wait out the rest of the thing here. Like, I don't think I'll pass out if I keep sitting here. But also... Oh, maybe I will pass out. Fuck. Hey, buddy, you're going in the hole. Actually, I want to use that right now. Now fuck me. Okay. Making myself anxious. Need to talk myself up more. Jesus. Okay. Honestly. Did it clear out all my weight? Okay, no. Just a brief glitch. I'm bones now. I don't gotta worry about the temperature. I feel like the particle effects on the Book of Bones should stop once you're bones. Right. Because your bones now. The power is out of the book and it's in you. In your bones. Because your bones. God damn it. Okay. None of you asked me how I did that, because I don't know. That was a lot more consistently than I can usually do that. In a much straighter line. By the way, if you enjoy what I do, got a Ko-Fi page. You could donate to support me. The robot reminds me, and so I remind you. Ko-Fi. Stimulate your senses. What? Heyo. How's it going, do on the grass? Now, do these affect you in your bones? Yes. Yes, they do. Just gonna hang out here for a minute. Not level 2 off a decade-old YouTube poop. Uh-huh. You chose your death. This demise is of your own doing. Really hope this goes away soon. Nope, nothing up here. Oh, over here. Yep. Okay, that makes sense. I guess over there is also an option. Ko-Fi. It's in the game. Fucking... I don't know if Ko-Fi actually has a slogan. Nope. That's not gonna work. Alright. I cannot cross all of this on one stamina bar. I am not trying to. I would like to get there. Which I think I can manage. Fuck. Ah! Dang it! My depth perception was off again. It's just a little bit, I thought I was close enough to grab onto that wall and lower myself down, and that was not the case. And I took like 8 times damage. Whoops. Well, it be like that. I would like to thank everybody who tuned in for today's Daily Peak. I really appreciate your viewership, and I will be seeing all of you guys once again next time. Bye. I will have a great day, Digi. Rawr.